Hi guys, welcome back to Benjamin Zulu Show. Now let me ask you guys, what do you do or what will you do if your parents rejected your fiancé? Think about it, Benjamin.
I'm thinking about it. Do you know, Bramwell, I want to start where you don't expect.
Please do. You always attack me off guard. Okay.
Your parents, we need to respect them, and the Bible says you respect them.
Yes.
But I want you to go beyond respect them. After you respect them, understand their limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people grow without growing up.
That's true.
Just because somebody is older than you does not always mean they are wiser than you.
Yeah. Even fools grow old.
Very good. So let's start here by saying this. When your parents, you introduce your loved one, your fiancé, the lady or the guy you want to marry, and you knew, you heard them swearing by their ancestors. You know those, your parents will swear, as long as I'm alive, I'll never admit such a tribe in my family.
Yes.
I'll never admit a person who has no car. Brahman, do you have a car? Oh, sorry. So, as I was saying,
It is there. Big one.
whether it's in physical or in faith, I take both.
Thank you.
So, Bramwell, when you introduce your loved one after a lot of frustrating, difficult search, can we tell those who might not be aware that finding a person who accepts you is a miracle? You know, you can find a person who is willing to sleep with you,
Yes.
but to find a person who is willing to wake up with you. That, Bramwell, waking up has a lot of aibu dogo. Small embarrassing things like smelling mouth, no makeup, no anything. Just
The original you.
exactly. And this is a footnote. Don't marry a lady before you see her without makeups. You might be shocked. Some cover their true nature. So do video calls in the morning. It's a very easy thing. Do video without notice. I told you the other thing, always peep. Make sure you peep into our house. At least visit with a brother. Impromptu. We happen to be around doing door to door. Even if you are doing this door only. Sometimes learn to manufacture situations. This is wisdom. This is not lying. Call up my brother, Benja. So, Jen, actually, we happen to be around doing door to door. This is your house. We are here at the gate. Peep and see. If you see cockroaches and rats and other neighbors, that's what you transport to your house. Because when she's coming to you, maybe she polishes. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go back to this. Sometimes your parents will reject, and you know it was so tiresome to find a lover, a person who loves you. Please understand this. Sometimes they do not know what work you put to reach here. Mm-hmm. But I also want to warn you, don't ask to get married when you are not mature. For men, I suggest reach 30 or 28 at least. For women, don't try to marry when you are 22. Most people married before they are 25. The brain matures at 25. Most people married before they are 25 regret it. They chose before they knew who they were, before they knew to read who they are dealing with, before they knew things to do with energy, before they knew things to do with the future. They were judging the present too much against the future. Maybe the guy has a car now. You don't have a car now. Soon you realize he's slow, he's stuck, he's stagnant, and you are faster than him. You outgrow him. Maybe this lady was 22 and innocent and good. You realize later she's a viper, she's a python, she's poisonous, she's undisciplined, she's going back to her exes, she's a drunkard, she's a party animal, she's a wild woman, she's not a mother, she can't settle. That's how men find when they marry college kids. These 23-year-olds, 22-year-olds. She evolves to a thing you have never seen. Date women who are 25 and above. By then you know who she is. You can see her true character. Mm-hmm. All right? Not everybody who is not mature people evolve 25 and beyond. So not everybody, nobody is mature below 25, and not everybody who is mature who is above 25. Some people never grow still. You can see this one is an idiot for life. This one is committed to remaining unlearned, unschooled, unprincipled, undisciplined. Some people are committed to live careless lives for their lives. All right? So we're saying this. If you're sure you're mature, you're ready, this is the person you want, come to your parents. If they object, they refuse. Number one, listen to their objections. Consider what they're saying. Do they have a point? Don't always dismiss at the first. Maybe they're showing you a side you did not know. Remember, parents don't intend to ruin you. Many times they're sincere. People can be sincere and very wrong. Are we together? People can be sincerely wrong. They're not malicious, they're just mistaken. I totally believe this is north. And I tell you, if you go, this is north, brother. Yeah, this is. I told you what I believed and I meant it, but I was wrong. Sometimes, consider if you are wrong. And maybe they are right. So sit with their suggestion. Listen. Just listen. Don't shut them in the middle of that conversation. Listen. Consider it. Then make your decision. Brahma.
Okay.
Brahma, if they bless you, you'll be blessed. If they curse you, you'll be cursed. Because they invested in your life. All right? So, listen to their opinion. And I experienced that. One of the people shaped me, disagreed with who I wanted to marry. They will think you're marrying a too tiny girl, too fat, too tall, too dark, too like, do anything. The wrong tribe, the wrong things, the wrong that. I listened to the opinion and politely disagreed. So after you consider their opinion, make your decision. If you realize they have opened your eyes to something you are not seeing, obey. Move on. Tell the person it's unfortunate. Can't move on.
Okay.
But if you realize, Mom, no, I disagree. This is my... Do not drop your lover whom you think is your life soulmate because of parents. Because two things will happen. You will live bitter. You may never find a person whom you connect so well. And you will regret it. Sometimes parents refused you from marrying because they could see you're immature, you are unready, you're making a mistake. You did not see the point yourself, but they stood their ground and they saved you from disaster. But once you realize now you're mature, you want to move on with your life. And they say, hapa kwangu, I will not accept a person to bring another tribe in my home. Remember, you're not bringing the person to their home. You're going to build your own home. The Bible says you leave so that you can cleave. All right? So how do you disobey parents then? You're risking curses. How do you marry when they said no? If they said they will not attend the wedding, they will disown you. You should never name your children after them. They should never see you in front of their face again.
And we have people who have been told that.
So let me teach you the psychology of disobedience.
Go ahead.
Psychology class 101. No, you do it politely, but firmly. Never tell them you understand their perspective. Validate their perspective and tell them, Bramel, I never exchanged words with everybody who disagreed with me. I politely declined. Now, next time you should tell me, let's do a topic on how to do a wedding. You may think it's automatic until you try to do it. Bramel, is it Africa? Or people try to guide people because naturally it shouldn't be a problem. People, number two, use diplomacy. Replace the parent who refuses to take part. In case you come from narcissistic parent, there's a mother who went up. If they refuse to support your decisions, it's them who have declared to be your enemies. And you can't appease them by separating the person because you will still be seeing them as the cause of why you left whom you loved. Later on, you may marry, and the marriage gets issues, as normal marriages will, here and there, but you begin to blame them for the issues because this is not the person who should have married. You understand? You can hardly reach your wife. She's on phone constantly sorting family issues. And she has to travel there, emergency. The solution is to handle the situation together with her. Tell her that now you have to educate them and win them away. If they were to fall apart, let them fall apart. That's their work, not yours. Sometimes they are overwhelmed by the fear. You know, if they keep quiet for a week, chaos erupt. Dysfunctional families are like that. They are always on the verge of chaos. Be happy if you don't understand this.
I'm happy.
The peace and unity in dysfunctional families is very fragile. It's like the peace after post-election. There's handshake, but
You see everyone as a suspect.
there's no war, but neither is there love. It's called false peace held sway. That's how they usually say it. There was some calm, fragile calm in the atmosphere. So dad and mom hardly get along. Brother and sister hardly get along. Dad and son usually fight. It's this girl who keeps them without, the way they are ready to fight, but you are the one in between. Teach a woman to accept that eventually she can carry two families. Mm-hmm. Can I tell you, when worst came to worst, they collapse, their health takes a toll? If they don't retire from the family management of the first family, then the second family grows. They have a baby, they have things to manage. Managing two families can collapse their health. People, I think some of us are very stubborn. There was a guy who was sick. He was brought to Jesus for healing by 4 men.
Yes.
Brahman, the day you are so sick that it takes 4 people to take you to hospital, take you to the healer, you are very sick. If you are only mildly sick, 1 person can assist you.
Yeah.
But if you can't even stand up, they have to carry you in your bed.
4 of them.
So some of us were brought up by 4 people because you were very sick. And when they arrived where Jesus was, they could not use the traditional entrance because it was full.
Yeah.
They had to open the roof. Can we also acknowledge some people opened the roof to get us to where we are, to get us to healing? As for me, Bramwell, as for me, I'll be in every way grateful to God and to everybody who contributed to my growth. Some of them, you may not be friends for life. It reaches the point that the relationship dies out of circumstances you can't avoid. But in front of God, you must pray for them. Wish them well. God used them to wash you, to carry you to the healer. So it could be your biological parent or spiritual parent or social, practical parent.
Yeah.
There are people who, Brahman, if they bless you, you'll be blessed. If they curse you, you'll be cursed. Because they invested in your life. All right? So, listen to their opinion. And I experienced that. One of the people shaped me, disagreed with who I wanted to marry. They will think you're marrying a too tiny girl, too fat, too tall, too dark, too anything. The wrong tribe, the wrong things, the wrong that, the wrong that. I listened to the opinion and politely disagreed. So after you consider their opinion, make your decision. If you realize they have opened your eyes to something you are not seeing, obey. Move on. Tell the person it's unfortunate. Can't move on.
Okay.
But if you realize, Mom, no, I disagree. This is my... Do not drop your lover whom you think is your life soulmate because of parents. Because 2 things will happen. You will live bitter. You might never find a person whom you connect so well. And you will regret it. Sometimes parents, you're making a mistake. You did not see the point yourself, but they stood their ground and they saved you from disaster. But once you realize now you're mature, you want to move on with your life. And they say, hapa kwangu, I will not accept a person to bring another tribe in my home. Remember, you're not bringing the person to their home. You're going to build your own home. The Bible says you live so that you can cleave. All right? So how do you disobey parents then? You're risking curses. How do you marry when they said no? If they said they will not attend the wedding, they will disown you. You should never name your children after them. They should never see you in front of their face again.
And we have people who have been told that. We have people who have been told that.
So let me teach you the psychology of disobedience.
Go ahead.
Psychology class 101. No, this is advanced psychology now. It's 301. When you want to go against your parents, you do it politely, but firmly. Never shout, never return words. Just say, imagine I listen to you, I hear you, and I totally understand why, even if they are not making any sense. Tell them you understand their perspective. Validate their perspective and tell them, unfortunately, imagine, I still must marry this person somehow. I still feel like I want to try. Bramwell, I never exchanged words with everybody who disagreed with me. I politely declined. Now, if they refuse to support you because in my not show up, who pulled out, who disowned, and it will happen. Next time, you should tell me, let's do a topic on how to do a wedding. You may think it's automatic until you try to do it. Bramwell, is it Africa or human nature? We have a special gift in hatred. And so people try to obstruct you, prevent. The moment you find the lover to the moment you get married, that process requires a lot of guidance.
Yeah.
And I want us to guide people. Because naturally, it shouldn't be a problem. People should assist you. You marry, we wish you were. No. They put obstacles, they obstruct. So disagree politely. Number 2, use diplomacy. Replace the parent who refuses to take part. In case you come from a narcissistic parent, there's a mother who went up to the guy who's marrying the daughter and told him, you're making a mistake. To a better, you're even marrying the younger one. This one is bad news. Even as a child, we're being married, we're having sex. Can you imagine? The mothers were narcissistic, hateful. evil. Their fathers were like that. They try to badmouth their own child. So if that happens, one of the things you need to do is realize this person is your enemy. So Brahma, let me tell you another thing. Your parents can declare enmity when they refuse you to move on with your life. So don't look for peace with them. Peace is impossible when they don't want to support you. Let me repeat this until you get it. If they refuse to support your decisions, it's them who have declared to be your enemies. And you can't appease them by separating the person, because you will still be seeing them as the cause of why you left whom you loved. Later on, you may marry, and the marriage gets issues, as normal marriages will, here and there, but you begin to blame them for the issues, because this is not the person who should have married. You understand? So from the moment your parents declare their stand stubbornly, remember, you can never be friends as before. It's them who have declared to take the other side. They should have expressed their opinion and still allowed you to make your decision.
All right. And talking about allowing me to make my decision, Benjamin, what if we have this scenario where parents have somebody in mind for their son to marry. So when you come to introduce a lady that you've gotten somewhere, you intend to marry her, they will refuse her with the intention of forwarding.
Bring the other one.
Yes.
Use the same rule. You are the one who will have to live with this person day by day. And you want a person whom you have good chemistry with. Laughter. Don't marry a person you don't laugh with. And most of the people, these people are proposing, you look good for each other outwardly, or they have another motive. They want to be connected with that family for other reasons. They are trying to pursue their own goals. You know, some parents want their families to marry because they wish to marry that person. So they wish their children to get married.
Yeah.
Don't carry another person's agenda. You want a person whom you can flow with well. One of these days, we should also discuss which social class to marry from, which families to marry from. Because sometimes they want to marry for wealth. Yeah. Because they know if their daughter marries, they'll be brought a lot of wealth. But now the daughter wants to marry another Bramwell who does not have a lot of inheritance. But she knows me and Bramwell will get wealth. We are good. We are friends. We think on a very high level. She's seeing where you can go. That other guy could be very far ahead now, but they don't connect that well. So make your decisions and be firm. I told you, you must learn to disobey politely. You must learn to disagree without a fight.
All right, and talking about disagreeing, Benjamin, we have now these people, and these I've seen it in men. When they realize their parents are refusing to accept their fiancé, they will join the bandwagon to tend to manipulate them to accept the girl. Is that an option?
Don't use manipulation. Remember one thing I want you to protect: your peace of mind, your integrity, your godliness. Remember, God is within your battles. Don't make the lady pregnant to force them to accept because you're already pregnant. Do things in the right order. This pregnancy has its own requirements. The timing of the baby should be calculated independent of pressure. So one of the things I want you to decide in this life is you're going to plan your life without using cutting corners. You're an adult now, Bramwell. Be strong-willed, be level-headed, and be independent. When your parents fight you, use the fight as a spur to move forward quickly, to work harder, to plan your life quickly, to readjust. In fact, any opposition, me and my wife, we have used it to move very forward, and prove those guys wrong. If those who thought we can't do anything, we say we can't afford to fail because some people are watching to confirm that we are failures. So let's succeed to prove them wrong.
Should the same principle work now with the lady? A lady who's trying to introduce the guy to her parents, and the guy is feeling is always being rejected.
Bramwell, even if I'm being rejected by your people as a lady, and me and you are united, we are enough. The moment we decide to form family, we are a sovereign unit. Before we get married and after we get married, in-laws are second opinions. We are the first opinion. So whether they will support the marriage or not, don't give them the power to determine. Use every process. If they refuse wedding, go to the Attorney General. Can I tell you can do a wedding on Sunday?
Yes.
Go to Attorney General, and tell Pastor we want to be joined after service today. Put on your gown, cut a small cake there, we are married. Attorney General happily does not need your parents.
Yeah.
The law does not require parents. Require you to have a witness, me one witness. The lady a witness, the guy a witness, whoever. This witness can be anybody. Your best friend. Parents are not needed. Their blessing it's a blessing if it comes. If they refuse with it, God will bless you. Don't Don't turn down a person who you'd have done life with because of irrational parents.
Because of irrational. Now, Benjamin, we have these guys who've been born alone. So parents feel that their life is always rotating around this guy. So they're afraid once he gets married, all their life will come to a standstill. And the very things they've been getting or receiving, they'll no longer be there.
It's true. Some people see the spouse as a financial competitor.
Yeah.
As who will come and replace, channel away finances from them.
Yeah.
Dependency, Bramwell. Sometimes when you get married, you are the one, the fat cow. And it's unfortunate in Africa, we don't inherit wealth, we inherit debts, inherit responsibilities, burdens. Imagine, elsewhere, the children of Trump are inheriting empires.
Yes.
Elsewhere in Africa. Bramwell, it's regrettable. Can me and you change the story?
And we are changing the narrative.
My son will inherit from me wealth.
Yeah.
I want to give him a house and a car when he gets married.
Yeah.
I want to give him a starter capital to life. I want to give him a real estate that is bringing some rent. Tell him, boy, you have seed capital. Go build your empire, man. I wish you well. When we meet as friends.
Yeah.
To catch up. Hey, guys, how are you doing? We can go for our holiday. We as parents, they can go for their own without burdening them. Yeah. They give us gifts. We give them gifts as family. Not burdens and responsibility. So can we start by saying things? When you marry and you are the one being dependent on, this is a sign of dysfunction that should also be evolved outgrown. These people are dependent on you and they want to push away your partner so they can keep milking from you. They should be taught that I'm only assisting you to stand on your own feet. I was carrying you because we grew up in a bad situation. It should not be this way. So be firm and support your partner. In case you also need to educate, teach them, educate, introduce your partner to the situation of life you're dealing with. Does not mean you stop the help, but now we join forces in helping. Tell them that I have to educate my sibling, I have to assist I have to support my family, but we do that in a measured way so that we don't collapse ourselves. Yes.
And now let us turn the coin a little bit, Benjamin. Now, what happens when my parents have accepted my fiancé? And you see, life has issues. Life has some realities, you see. And in the process of living, you'll realize that let's say my mother doesn't get along well with my wife in the process. Now, every time we visit them,
she has attitudes.
There's
a clash.
Exactly.
You have to come home now seeing your woman crying in the car. Man, it can be difficult. Any exchange between those two women leaves you in an awkward place. You have to come the other. And sometimes you wonder, do I even take her home? When there's an event, you're preparing now for a war.
And I've seen worst case scenario where now a woman asks the husband, between me and your mother, choose one.
So, Bramwell, number one, when you get married, stop being a baby. Can you stop breastfeeding? One thing, your wife is frustrated because you're too close to your mother. You're talking everything. You're passing by her before you come here. That's why she's asking you to choose. Sometimes she's right. You have not individuated. And can I tell sisters to stop marrying ready for marriage? They still want to breastfeed. If the mother is the wife, is the woman in his life, leave him. He is a woman. What are you coming here to become? To be treated like an imposter, a child generator, and she is the real woman, calling the shots of money and time. Don't marry if you're not ready to separate from your mother. Separating does not mean abandoning.
Yes.
It means individuating enough to have a private life without updating your mother, your bedroom issues, your money issues, your child issues, everything issues. Consulting her, then coming to ask your wife to rubber stamp. It should be the other way. It should be a mother who is updated what we did. Now, it's frustrating. The same way to your woman. If your woman, especially I told you about firstborns, they co-parented with the mother. Yeah. And they usually continue the co-parenting after you marry. And she's being told about every small thing, from the chicken that is sick to the avocado tree that is drying. To the latrine that is leaking. Can you imagine? Because she was part of the integral. And I told you the funny thing with the girls you marry, she might have been the force that held the family together. Can you imagine that? Some families are held together by a child in that family, not the parents. It's scary, but it's true. And then you marry you yourself, the center that was holding things together.
Yeah.
You're pulling it away, the family will fall apart. It's an unfortunate problem. Firstborns make best wives, but also it's because they were running another family. That's not the ideal circumstance. There are places where the parents are responsible, they're in charge. It's not the child holding things up, but I'm saying there are families that are so dysfunctional that it's the child, the daughter you came to marry,
Holding them together.
So if you carry her away, she carries them away emotionally with them. All communication goes through a sibling. A has a conflict with sibling B, and mom wanted to tell dad, and dad. You can hardly reach your wife. She's on phone constantly sorting family issues. And she has to travel there, emergency. The solution is to handle the situation together with her. Tell her that now you have to educate them and win them away. If they were to fall apart, let them fall apart. That's their work, not yours. Sometimes they are overwhelmed by the fear. You know, if they keep quiet for a week, chaos erupt. Dysfunctional families are like that. They're always on the verge of chaos. Be happy if you don't understand this.
I'm happy.
The peace and unity in dysfunctional families is very fragile. It's like the peace after post-election. There's handshake, but
You see everyone as a suspect.
there's no war, but neither is there love. It's called false peace, held sway. That's how they usually say it. There was some calm, fragile calm in the atmosphere. So dad and mom hardly get along. Brother and sister hardly get along. Dad and son usually fight. It's this girl who keeps them without, you know, the way they are ready to fight, but you're the one in between. Teach a woman to accept that eventually she can carry two families. Can I tell you, when worst came to worst, they collapse, their health takes a toll. If they don't retire from the family management of the first family, then the second family grows. They have a baby, they have things to manage. Managing two families can collapse their health. They can actually, it's unfortunate that this COVID was taking away people with very bad immunity. Many people with bad immunity were carrying two families. Invisible to the world.
Yeah.
The guy is married here, but he has another family. I also want to warn you, if you marry, don't take up your family's, your wife's family. They can notice you're a very good manager. And you're a benevolent administrator, a generous person. And if you don't draw boundaries, you end up taking up two families. You are on that, in fact, three. There are men who are walking around here, they are carrying three families.
Three families, yeah. It's happening.
And you see them talking to themselves, or staring blankly into space. Imagine they have a business, their own family, and two other families. So you must learn to let people choose a path in their life. And don't carry people on your back. Let them choose a path in life. Assist, but don't take over.
Assist, but don't take that. Thank you for